if you had any challenges that were a bit extreme.
I went around a challenge in 2016 and I felt like I'm in prison. I don't know if you will believe it or not. I read one quote and honestly it changed my life.
Welcome to my podcast, Deep Dive with Ethar. Today, our deep dive will be with my guest, Dr. Hanan Al Mheiri, the CEO and founder of Hanan Empire. Welcome, Dr. Hanan.
Thank you so much, Ethar, for having me. I'm so delighted to be part of your show.
Tell me more about, we all want to hear about your experience. I know you've worked a lot for the government, over 17 years.
Yes.
You've been in amazing positions with amazing organizations, and some of them are quite, I don't want to say difficult sectors, but quite demanding sectors. So maybe take us through a journey, how you started and how you got here.
With regards to my corporate career, yes, I started my career back in 2007. And my experience revolves around working in the government sector, specifically in Dubai. The interesting part is that my previous education, I studied film directing, so I studied applied media sciences, and I was so passionate about it. I produced documentaries and so forth. And then when I joined my first job in 2007, I wanted to do my master's in strategic human resources management. So when I did my master's, I wanted a field that it can be applied across many disciplines and so forth. And then when I joined my first job, I supposed to work in the media, but then in a way or another, I got an opportunity to work in the knowledge management field, which then I fell in love with.
Which was after the master's degree, right?
Yes, after the master's degree. And then I worked in the first corporate job for 4 years. And then I joined another organization, which I'm still working on right now. So I was really excited about the field of knowledge management. And this is where it took me to also do my further study in my PhD research in the area of knowledge management as well.
Yeah, you've done your PhD a few years ago, right? Have you finished it?
I finished in March 2022.
Okay.
So it was very exciting.
And it was a 12-year journey to what you told me.
12 years journey. See, for me, to be honest, the PhD journey is very challenging. You will encounter a lot of circumstances, a lot of things. It's like an emotional roller coaster, basically. I wanted to stop like in 2018 when my mom passed away. I was a bit lost. But then, with the support of my own support system and my inner circle, I was able to overcome these challenges and I was able to complete my PhD. Some people, they just start the PhD just for, just an extra accreditation. I think when you start your PhD, you have to have a passion. So for me, what kept me going for the 12 years is that I had really a passion for my research topic. So my thesis was about investigating the impact of leadership and organizational culture and their impact on knowledge-sharing behavioral intentions among employees. So it has also psychological aspects, which I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
So for me, I kept going. Even like in 2016, I remember my supervisors were telling me, Hanan, through the pilot, you can just publish your results, because I got a good response from my pilot study. But then I told them, no, I modified my models. I want to, test my models. So I was really passionate about my topic. So this is my advice for anyone who wants to start their PhD journey. They have really to be in love with their topic, because this is what will keep them going.
That's an interesting point. Are you currently applying it to your work?
Yes. Anything that I have done in my PhD. So in my PhD, I studied the evolution of leadership.
Hello.
And the different styles of leadership. And for me, I honestly fall in love with inclusive leadership. But there is no right or wrong leadership style. I always get this question Hanan, what is the best leadership style you think it's fit? For me, there is no one ideal leadership style. For me, I believe that I'm an inclusive leader. However, a good leader will know when to adapt which style depending on the situation. So, for instance, if I have a productive team who are really proactive, they are meeting deadlines, I will treat them as a leader differently than another team who are not really responsive, they are not proactive, they are waiting for me to give instructions. Of course, I will not deal with them the same way.
Sort of an adaptive style. You're using it currently in your work?
Yes.
That's nice.
And even for the culture, like sometimes when I started training in my the organization I work in and the previous one, a lot of people were telling me during training sessions, but we don't have the right culture, our leaders are doing this, our co-workers is that, but they forgot important aspect. To change anything, you need to change from yourself.
True.
You need to display the behaviors that you want others to adopt. Like, I cannot expect from you understanding if I'm not understanding you. I cannot expect that Ethar will collaborate with me and I'm not showing any kind of collaboration with you. So it is like two-way road, you know. So I always tell them, start by yourself, and when you offer your help, your guidance to your team members, then they will see, okay, that this person, this is their intention. And Ethar, for me in corporate, I started with 0 members. I had members when my first organization. When I came to the other organization, I started from 0 again. So I had to display all the behaviors, all the attributes that I would love to see from other people's, you know, exchanging with me as well.
So did you learn this as you're doing your studies, or did you learn it? Was it intuitive to you, like the fact that you had to adapt and learn about people? Well, is it from your passion for psychology? You know, is it something that you have learned on your own?
No, it was through my research. The good thing what I was doing is that whenever I was reading a paper, the more research I read, I go and apply it. I read and then I apply it. So it was
like trial and error, basically.
It was
You know, you make a mistake with someone, you don't, you know, lead them the way that they want to be led, and then there's a grudge. Have you dealt with that before, and how did you deal with that? Because it's not easy to manage people.
See, for me, to be honest, it's all about the intention.
Yeah.
So for me, I placed a good intentions from beginning of my journey, and I was blessed with all the teams I have worked with. I'm not saying I didn't face challenges. Yes, I faced challenges. But for me, like, I always treated my team, it's like we are like a small family. They can come and talk to me, and they know something about me that Hanan is really fun. So fun when the time of fun will be fun. The time when there is work, we will be serious about our achieving our work, and they know that I'm compassionate person. Like I understand, like for example in my team there are mothers, there are wives, so again there are different circumstances for me, you know, trying with the people. And also again back to the intentions, when I started I was having really good intentions that I wanted to develop my team, I wanted to create this kind of environment, I wanted to have like an open communication. When it's not all the time is flowers and you know,
it's not all rosy.
Yeah, it's not all rosy. Yes. So I had some disagreements or some difficult situations with team members that I really, really respect and I care for, even in a person.
Which is hard, to be honest.
Yeah. So I came to them. We had those difficult conversations in any relationships, even like between wife and her husband. There are always difficult conversations.
Yeah.
So I respect my team for coming to me and for having these difficult conversations, but because they know that we care for each other. So I think this is communication, and having a good intention, it really plays an important role.
It does, and I think I was going to ask you about that. I think you mentioned a very interesting point about your previous experience, that you had worked in a very structured, highly structured organization. And I was thinking, like, how has that shaped you? That must have shaped who you were, especially if that was the first job that you had, right?
Yes.
And you worked up to the top. You worked up, I think, to a managerial position in that organization.
Yes, I was head of division, which is like head of unit.
Yeah. So, like, working there, how was it? Especially that I think it's a male-dominated sector. I don't know if at the time it was still that, but how did that shape you? Because that's not easy.
See, for me, of course, as a fresh graduate, it was a shock for me because they were They were strict about 1 minute, 2 minute. Like if you are not
Of
in your
course.
desk,
Yes, of course.
2 minutes and 1 minute. So
Think about the strictest of the strictest organizations. I don't have to mention, but
I had like the employee from HR coming to ask me about the 1 minute and 2 minutes.
God.
So for me, I was like, okay, it's just like me walking from the parking to the to the office. But again, in a good way, their organization culture was amazing. Even though it was high hierarchical organization, the good thing that the collaboration was happening like easy like that. I can only inform like my manager, can I collaborate with that department? As long as he's aware and he's in the loop, he doesn't mind at all.
Okay.
So really, I have done a lot of great work. But again, the structure is very important, and I think it benefited me a lot because I was at a young age. So it shaped me to be a professional.
Absolutely.
Know how to do things in a professional way.
Kind of helps your core. I remember when I started working in consulting, and it was very tough. If you had any challenges that were a bit extreme that you went through your jobs and that kind of shaped you, you learned from it, but it was hard to go through. A bit too hard, unnecessarily hard.
I don't recall a painful I'm a person usually, but this is again because of my personality. I always take it from a different perspective. I went around a challenge in 2016. And I was almost going to leave my organization. I cannot really mention all the details, but it was, as you mentioned, a very, let's say, traumatic event. And I almost resigned. My resignation was in the system. And I felt like I'm in prison at that time. And subhanallah, thank God, I came across in Virgin Megastore a very small book with quotations. It has this inspiring quotes, and I don't know if you will believe it or not. I read one quote, and honestly, it changed my life. The quote was mentioning, if I recall correctly, if you are let's say you are unhappy about your situation, change it. If you cannot change it, change the way you think about it. So for me, I was thinking about my situation, that I am in prison. I am not happy where I am. I feel that everyone hated me. I felt like my manager hated me. I felt that my co-workers hated me. I felt like the entire world was against me at some point.
It's the end of the world, yeah.
Once I read this quote, I said, okay, let me change the way I'm thinking about it. So I said, okay, my organization is a multinational organization. I will get a lot of opportunity from it. My colleagues and my manager could have a bad day at that time for the interactions they have. I'm sure that they are respecting me. They respect my knowledge, and I'm a respected person. And I will collaborate. I will start by collaborating. And this is where the point we tapped on about I started displaying things within me that I wanted to be reflected within my interactions with the team, my peers, and with my manager, and with my atmosphere to change the culture. And subhanallah, year passed and the other year passed, and it's like a miracle.
But it took time.
It took time, but really, when you put the intention and you change your mindset,
things change.
Things happen like magic.
Yeah. But the issue, I think, is that we're never that patient, right?
So for me, I was absorbing the energy, and maybe until lately, let's say 2 years ago, I was always searching, and I had 3 coaches. I always asked them, how can I protect my energy? How can I protect my energy? Because I was falling to this trap a lot.
You know, the energy cord cutting.
Yeah,
right?
I heard about it. Yeah.
So I was doing that for a while as well. I'm not sure now, in retrospect, I'm not sure about that anymore. But I do believe, when I started understanding a bit more about energy and the energy field, a bit more about how we are as empaths, and a bit more about how energy works and how energy vampires work, and how sometimes people who subconsciously they operate from an unconscious level, and most of us do. We're working from the subconscious, unconscious. We're 95% operating from unconsciousness, right? So I think, for me, the big learning curve was that, like you said, when people are asking you to support them, what does support mean? Because to me, I think support is them asking for an advice that you can give. So listening in, if you're able to, but then giving back valuable advice. What we used to do as empaths is we feel their pain. that's a transfer of energy.
Yes.
It's hard as a human not to feel others' pain, but you're supposed to be able to kind of like put it as specific at bay, knowing what to do with it. So that pain and those emotions are there for us to move us and mobilize us to do something. Like what's happening right now around the world, we're supposed to feel something to do something good about it, right? And I think that's the whole point. But if we numb ourselves completely to other people's pains, then we're no longer human. It's just finding that balance.
To be honest, Ethar, I'm still struggling with it. Sometimes, one lady will come in my office and will tell me, Dr. Hanan, I feel pain in her. For a while, I will feel the pain, even the physical. Another time, someone was coming and they had something in their throat. I was like, as if it is in me.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah. So sometimes, even for me, still I fall in this trap. Like I feel the pain of others, even the physically. I feel it. Oh, it's in me. It's hurting me. I think it's something we need just to work on. It is challenge. I don't want to reach to this stage what you mentioned, like I am careless, I don't feel other people. It's just
there's a place in the middle.
The place in the middle. What is the balance here? I want to still to help. And also one of the things that was really frustrating me as Hanan, whenever I'm going to call, let's say Ethar, my friends, I want to listen to your advice about it. But what I had in the past is that people were like throwing their garbage on me. They didn't want to change their situation. They are enjoying the victim.
Of course. Yes.
Being in the victim mentality. Because there are two types. People who want to stay in victim mentality. People who want to take charge and take responsibility. Yes, I was exposed to hurt. I was exposed to this trauma. I didn't have anything to do with it. But it's my responsibility to heal and change the narrative. They don't want to change the narrative. They are enjoying being in the victim. So why are you calling me 4 times, 5 times about it, and you don't want to take any action about it?
Because it's attention. So when they speak to you, right? When people speak to us and they are in pain, and we're giving them. But I think one of the things I realized to shift that, the energy that we give to people is the energy they come for. So people, if you find yourself attracting these kind of energy vampires, is because you're giving them the feeling that you are going to be there no matter what. Subconsciously, they're picking up the energy that you feel a need to kind of please. So there's a need to be there, to overextend yourself. And like to your point, what you were saying earlier about like how we have to look inwards for any situation that's happening outside of us. We look inwards and see, what are we doing that's causing this? And I think that's the journey for life. It will always be the journey, right? Like we look inward. But that's very interesting. I think you being an empath and you being on this wanting to help and wanting to heal the world, and the fact that you actually transfer people's physical pain to you is probably what led you to our next discussion about Hanan Empire. I want to get to Hanan Empire, but before that, I want to talk about the awards that you got. Tell me, I've seen that you've got multiple awards. A, I want to know which one was closest to your heart, and B, I want to know how you did it.
See, for me, being an award winner, it's like it's something that's nice, amazing to have. I always get a lot of people telling me, Hanan, how can you help us to develop your profile, to develop our profiles and so forth. I have, I think, 3 awards that stuck in my mind that I'm proud of. The first one is the Emirates Women Awards. I won the leadership category.
Which is wonderful.
And the fun thing about this award,
I have to tell you guys that she's not old. She is quite young. Should we disclose the age? I don't mind.
The Emirates Women Award, I participated in it like for 3 years, and I was rejected every time.
Interesting.
Yes.
And you kept on coming. You kept on.
Yes, I kept on.
So were you putting up your application, or were you being nominated?
No, application.
Okay.
So everything with applications. Yes. So for me, it was really fun. Is that I was. How they are doing because for me we also have created some awards in my corporate, so I just always want to know how are they evaluating. Let me do this time.
Your curiosity that pulls you towards it.
And also I'm always developing my profile, so why not?
Okay.
So when I won, interestingly, I submitted for another category, and I wanted to submit for the leadership like in 2 years time, and then I was nominated for the leadership category. So it was mind blowing. going. I didn't know, like when I knew that I am awarded, but I didn't know in that category which I want to participate in, like 2 years after that. So it was really amazing experience. There is also an award that I won recently, and I'm really proud of it because you know, it is dedicated for Hanan Empire. So it's the first award that I obtained as the CEO and founder of Hanan Empire, and it's about it's called the UAE's Next Mastermind Award, and I took it in the mindset coaching. So it was really amazing to be recognized, especially that Hanan Empire is just a startup right now on this stage. So it was really encouraging.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. The third one was the most knowledgeable person. Again, I participated as Hanan Empire. From the name, it's really nice.
It's really nice, isn't it? Badge of honor.
So to be recognized for your knowledge and I'm working for knowledge management for all of this, it's really amazing.
Exactly. That's wonderful. I think there's a template that you mentioned here. I don't think many people know that you can apply to awards and that this is actually a call to encourage people to apply to awards. I think people shy away from that, especially women. And that's why I wanted you on my podcast. I wanted to show a template of a woman who is a leader in her position, who also is leading CEO of a company, a startup, and managing both at the same time and succeeding in both at the same time. And to me, the idea of doing this while maintaining your feminine energy and feminine leadership is really wonderful. So that's why it's a beautiful example to see and showcase. So being able to build portfolios really helps you become an expert in your field. There's a downside to it. So I want you to talk to us about that.
So even before building a portfolio, let's say corporate portfolio, or even if you have your entrepreneurial portfolio, you need to know what is your goals in life. You have to have clarity about what are your main goals.